So I'm essentially just making this video to start documenting my journey. Now that I'm in high ticket sales after 4 years of trading. So just going over some notes. This is essentially just a ChatGPT summary of my personal notes I've been writing to myself for the last 7 days. So let's just go into it. So the first thing that I've learned, and I'm just going to talk around these notes, is that when you get into business, it's not that you just do one thing forever. It's like this constant step up of platforms that you do. And I'm not sure how to fully articulate it, but when I was trading between 16 to 20, and I'm 21 now, I thought that, oh, once I learn the skill of trading, this is going to be the only thing that I do for the rest of my life. And I still have friends who are still trading, who do things like that. And I fully believe that like trading is going to be their main thing forever because I can see the conviction in them. But something I've realized is that the way the world works, or the way I see the world working, is that you learn skills, you apply it to a vehicle, you make money, you stack capital, you stack runway, then you move on to a higher leverage thing because now you have more skill, now you have more experience, now you have a larger network. And then you can take everything that you've gained up until this point and then pivot to another thing. And something I learned as well is that skill acquisition comes majority from volume and feedback loops. And this is the big issue that I had with trading, and it's why I left after 4 years. But the feedback loops in trading are too random. There's too much variance in trading in order for something to be like, I'm going to learn this skill and it's going to pay my bills for me. Trading isn't that. Trading is not a cash flow skill. So the feedback loops in trading are extremely distorted by variance. So it's like in trading, if you want to tell if you have an edge, like you have to do 100 to 300 trades and then you have to wait months, The average trader maybe gets 1 to 2 trades a day. If you're a swing trader, maybe 1 to 2 trades a week. And it's like, how are you meant to develop skill when you're getting that little sample size, that little volume, and the feedback loops are just like variance heavy? You can have a red month and it's just noise. So another thing I wanted to go into, the last point for this, is that speed of pivoting separates stagnation from growth. It's like, imagine if I maintain my identity of, oh, I'm a trader. This is the main thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not into business. I don't know about sales or marketing. I just trade. It's like I would have still been in the same place. But I guess the reason why people stagnate in life is because, you know, staying in the same place is easier than doing something new. And even when I stopped trading, it's like, yeah, I felt the identity loss. There was a good period of time I was like, so what do I do with my life now? You know? And even then, even now, I haven't traded in like almost 2 quarters now. And it's like I kind of still feel that way. Where it's like, so who am I actually? And I could feel my identity wrapping up into businesses now. Now that I've like spent some time in sales and I'm learning about like funnels and offers and distribution and all these buzzwords and all these skills, right? But it's like, I guess if I didn't have the ability to like literally kill an old version of myself, I wouldn't be at this point that I am now. So being able to pivot is really important. So the next point is cash flow first. Another thing I didn't realize as well, funnily enough, I didn't know that you can't have cash flow if you're not making money on a regular basis, like weekly. It just never occurred to me that in order for me to make $1,000 a month, I have to average 250 a week. The way my brain was conditioned to think is that, oh, cash flow. Let's say for example I make 10,000 in a month. For me, that 10,000 is going to come in 1 week, and then the other weeks I just make zero money whatsoever, and I might not make money for the next 6 weeks after that. And to me, that was like cash flow. But going into fields like sales or marketing or just business in general, it's like the money is generated regularly, like weekly. In order to make 3,000 in a month, you have to make 100 every single day. You know, don't call me on that. It's probably 10. But yeah, it's like the money has to be generated regularly, and that's a big mindset shift that just never occurred for me. And something as well is like, how can you have runway if you don't have this cash flow? So it's like, how would I say it? I just realized the importance of cash flow now, and I don't even think that cash flow just suddenly becomes less important. Even when you have runway and you have a leverage, and it's like, oh, I've got 2 years of savings and I can pivot into a higher leverage vehicle. It's like cash flow is still important. You know, if you don't have cash flow, how can you have savings? If you don't have cash flow, how can you invest into growing your wealth? You know. So cash flow is what allows you to have runway, and runway is what allows you to have survival. Runway allows you to think long term. Being able to think long term is a direct function of how much money you have, and the less money you have is like the more shorter term your thinking is. And even if you think that you're thinking long term, it's like no. If you don't have money, your range of like perception is going to be like that. But if you have money, it's going to be like that. You can just see so much farther because the mental noise in the back of your head is just like quieted down. So I realized that I shouldn't be in vehicles where the cash flow isn't paying immediately. If I'm doing something new and it's like it's not turning around or generating me like some kind of money or revenue or something like within the first month or two, it's like I probably shouldn't be doing that, and that's why I'm still in sales after 2 months, because I did make money my first month and in my second month as well. So yeah, going on to skill acquisition. Something I learned is that skills are not hard to get at all. This is a mistake I made with trading. I taught myself how to trade for 4 years. And it's like, yeah, you could say, oh, I was 16, I didn't have the money to invest into a mentor, into a course. But it's like, bro, like, I was 16, I had a part-time job, 17, I had a part-time job. And it's like, the money I made from that job that I put into funded accounts and whatever other sources of income I had, it's like, I could have easily got a mentor and just learned the skill and compressed my timeline. But I just realized now that I've learned more skills outside of just trading, and I've expanded my mind beyond the point of thinking, oh, trading is going to be the only skill that I learn. Now that I've expanded my mind outside of that, I learned copywriting to a decent level. I can make a story sequence, or I can write an email campaign. I'm not the best copywriter in the world. I'm not a master of direct response, but I know copywriting. And that skill didn't really take that much effort to learn. That was like the second main skill that I learned. And when I learned copywriting, I was like, oh, all I really did was show up, write 2 email pieces of copy a day, and I just pushed past a minor amount of discomfort. And then before I knew it, I could write copy, and I was getting responses. And now that I've done some story sequences for some offers that I've been on, and it's had a really good click through, where I'm like, oh, so I have the skill, and it just didn't really take all that much effort. And the same with sales. Like right now, I'm a appointment setter. That's what I do right now, and it's like, oh, it didn't really like take that much effort. I just showed up every single day for a good month or two. I constantly looked at what I was doing, documenting everything, like how can I improve, how can I improve, how can I improve? And then I have the skill. And of course I'm not a master, and I still have a long way to go, but it helped me realize that, oh, skills are not really that hard to get. Especially when you can compress timelines by buying mentorships. So that's another thing in terms of skill acquisition. Like, I'm never going to try and self-teach a skill again. Like, no. I learned my lesson. So yeah. Going on to sales philosophy. Yeah, so one thing I learned is that, a big part of like sales in general, just making money in general, is like just following up. Is that you can send 100 new outreaches every single day, like 100 new outbound messages a day for your offer, but if you're not following up on those messages, like there's no way your conversion is going to be at like peak potential. But if you send all of those outbound messages and you followed up until you either got told to like fuck off, or someone responded, it's like you're gonna have so many more conversions than if you were just sending messages once and like half-assing your follow-ups. So yeah, another thing I learned as well, which was quite surprising for me, is that manual bookings are actually better than like Calendly links. So if let's say you're setting someone, it's like they're qualified, they're in pain, they're seeking help, like they have high intent. Giving them an option between I have Wednesday 4 p.m. or Thursday 2 p.m. Like which one is best for you? That will get you more bookings than sending someone a Calendly link and be like, oh, let me know if you have any issues booking it. And I didn't really learn that until I started a new offer, and I was like, oh, this is how they do it. They've been having higher conversions, so let me just do what they've been doing. And then it turns out it has better results than what I was doing before. So that was a big like learning point for me that I'm definitely going to carry into other roles and just even continue doing it just permanently. Like Calendly links are good, but realistically, like if you want to maximize your bookings, maximize conversions, you have to give the leads options. And it's the same thing that SDRs do, right? Like they say they're on the phone call with someone, and it's like, oh, I have this time available, that time available. Like, which one works for you? Like, what time zone are you in? And they get bookings. So that's something I can apply to my own DM setting. So yeah, operator versus founder. This is something interesting. I realized that I'm not a business owner. Like, the idea of like starting a business and like not taking any money out for like 4 years, then suddenly having like a massive exit, or like when my business is at high six figures, high seven figures a year, then I finally start paying myself a six-figure salary. I'm like, bro, like that's not me, and that's fine. I realized that I'm an operator. Like, I naturally think about things in terms of systems, or maybe I'm naturally, because of that prior to trading, or maybe trading made me that way. But I realized that I'm a lot better at improving systems than making one from scratch. If you like gave me a bunch of offers and told me, oh, so tell me which one of these offers are better than the others, I just wouldn't be able to tell you that. And maybe that's just a lack of pattern recognition. But also, I think that I don't really know like how to create an offer. I don't have the skill of offer creation, or even necessarily like I don't know how to like make things from scratch, but I know how to make existing things better. And I think that's the difference between an operator and a founder. And it's like the operator can go from 1 to 100 by constantly iterating at pace, while the founder can go from 0 to 1. And it's like the founder's the visionary. They can have an idea in their mind and then make it a reality. And it's like, yeah, I like to believe I can do that as well, but you know, I'm much better at saying this idea that's now a reality has this issue, that issue, that issue. Let me improve those so now it's even better. Then let me do that again. And I know that's something that I'm really, really good at. So things like systems, ops, and execution, like I'm good at these things. I have really good pattern recognition. I have really good systems thinking. I have really high self awareness. So I think things like being an operator is much better for me than being a founder. Even though being a founder gives you more like publicity and status and whatnot, perhaps, I don't know. But I know that, let's say I get to a high enough point of leverage and skill and experience, like I should definitely be going down the operator route rather than a founder. So that's what I should do. Good line here. Don't force offer creation if it's not your skill set. And it's like, it just goes back to like skill acquisition. You know, it could take me 100 units of energy, mental energy, to learn the skill of offer creation, but the person that's naturally good at offer creation is going to put 50 units of mental energy and get the same skill, or they might even put 20 or 25 or 15, and they're going to get the same level of output in terms of offer creation as I would with it if I put 100 units of mental energy into it. So that's how I think about it. And obviously, if I went down some kind of operations route and learned the skills related to that, I can put my 15 units of mental energy, my 50 units of mental energy, my 100 units of mental energy, and I'd get the same results as if a visionary founder put the same effort into offer creation. But I'd just get the same results for ops and the entire just like running the systems for an offer. So yeah, some mindset shifts. Something I've prioritized a lot, like I mentioned, is cash flow. I mean, so yeah, that's a big shift for me. Like realizing if I want to make cash flow, then I need to be making money like consistently. So it's like, oh, have I made money this week? Yes, I have, but it's like that's just what's going on in my mind. Like, what can I do to make money this week? What actions can I take to make money this week? So it forces me to like think in terms of efficiency. Like, what revenue generating actions can I take in order to increase my cash flow this week? Something as well, another mindset shift is initiating conversations more. And I think sales specifically trained this in me. You know, if you're trading for 4 years, you're mostly isolated. You can't really talk to people about what you're doing. I mean, that's just business in general, like trying to make money online. But I noticed that trading specifically isolates you in a way that no other business like type business model does. Like in marketing, you're on calls with people. In sales, you're on calls with people. But trading isolates you. So I noticed that just by initiating more, by having more conversations, I naturally grew more comfortable, and I'm still growing more comfortable in terms of like asking for things more. So when it comes to asking someone to show me how they did X, Y, and Z, I'm more comfortable doing that. When it comes to talking to someone at the gym, I'm more comfortable doing that. And it's like, wow, like having that first mover advantage pays off a lot. And I've been seeing that just over the last 2 months. So that's been really, really good. Well, execution and roadmap. This is just like what kind of roadmap I'd see from where I am now. So it's DM setter, SDR, closer, sales manager, revenue operator. And I'm sure there's a bunch of like twists and turns and a bunch of years. Even if you buy all of the info in the world, get all of the consulting, have the most insane networks, like it's still going to take you time in order to go to all of this. So the next point, double down on the right vehicle. That's definitely a big thing for me. Like sales, funnily enough, like I avoided sales for so long because I was like, oh, sales is slave work. Like you're at the screen for 10 hours a day. Then you get your inside of it and it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, it's volume, but I can do the volume. It's not really that big of a deal. And I was like, damn, like sales, I made money my first month. It took me 2 years to make money in trading. 2 years. Maybe having a mentor played a part in me making money my first month. But it's like, wow, I'm finally getting the outcome that I want in like finances and like personal life and just everything. And it's because I'm in this new vehicle and it's like, I need to double down. So that's my update for the week based on my last 7 days of notes to myself. So I'll probably upload this on YouTube, maybe link to my Instagram. I'm not sure how much marketing I'm going to do for this video. I might just upload it and leave it here, but I'll make sure to be more consistent, or just be consistent since this is my first time doing this. So yeah.